Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. And I hope everyone's going to have an absolutely awesome day today. And I just want to say a very big thank you to those of you who sent me some well wishes on Monday. Thank you for that. And I just want to say everything's okay. The doctor says I'm normal, whatever that means, but you know what I mean. Right, what have I got on my desk here? I had a wonderful package of Happy Mail from a lovely lady called Julie, and Julie is an online crafty friend, and she's also in my craft group. And she sent me this lovely box of goodies, a wonderful card, and she said, you know, blah blah blah, and please don't share it. Well, you know, I'm going to respect that, Julie, but I wanted to share your card. Look at that. It's all embossed. Isn't that absolutely fabulous? I don't know how on earth you did that, but it's just absolutely amazing. It is a beautiful card. I won't share what's inside it. And you sent me so many things, and I wanted to share because I haven't shown my charm bracelet for a long time, and I haven't added to it for a long time. But you know, you can see I got all kinds of gubbins going on here. But Julie sent me two little charms. Now these could have been earrings, but I decided that they were going on my charm bracelet, and I want to try and get close. There they are. A tiny little diamante spoon and a little fork, and so they've gone onto my bracelet, Julie, and I just wanted to share that with you. Because I do, you know, sometimes I channel my Mr. T and I put it on, and it's just got everything on it, and I just love it. And I add to it all the time, but it's been a while since it got added to, so I just wanted to share that gorgeous little spoon and fork. It probably would have gone better over here with my cupcake, but you know, it's okay there for a while, because I tend to sort of like get things off, clean them, and then put them back in different places. So there it is, weighing about ½ a pound. Yeah, it's a good way to lose weight. So I thank you so much, Julie. Right, now digressing all over the place. Now when I shared the KSCRAFT haul on Monday, one of the things I noticed were the eyes were popping and the oohs and the ahs over this. This is the hot air balloon die, so we're going to be making that one today. And we also got these pretty little cutout daisies, so we're going to be using some of those onto here too. Now KSCRAFT has already done this as a shaker, and you can make this as a shaker, so I always try to do something different to KSCRAFT, and we're going to turn this into an opening card. So the first thing I need to do is desert you and do some die cutting, and I'll be right back. Right, so I have been away and die cut, and I have cut two bases. So that is the largest die in the set. And the reason we've got two bases is because shortly, when I've stuck things together, they'll go on top of each other, and I will actually score this one so that the card will stand up. So there are two bases. My next layer I've done in blue, so that's going to go on top of there, and then my white is going to go on top of there. And I've also cut another basket, and I did it and then chopped it off to fit, and I've done that in gold so that I'm going to have a gold basket. And I've done, you have to excuse my paper sliding around, I haven't got my silicone mat under this. I've done a little gold swag, which is really pretty, and I've done the curved gold piece, which is what goes on here. And I've also decided that I want my balloon area, I'm just moving that, to be floral. So I've cut out that section in the floral that I wanted. Now my flowers, I've cut 3, because you know me, I like to work in odd numbers, and I've just done those in white and gold and just glued those into the center. And I did the smallest ones because I just want something to kind of like, you know, pop up there afterwards. So one of the things that I have to do now, of course, is glue the white onto my blue. I'm going to leave my other bases alone for a while. I was going to push those out of the way. And also, while I've got this in my hand, if you want another use for this, flip it that way around. Use your die, this die again, and cut back into here so that you've got a perfect curve here, and you've got a vase. And if you want to go even lower down, so that I'll show you. Imagine you're using this. This is a die, and you put it onto there, so that you're getting a little pot that you can fill with flowers, and you can use that onto a card. So I just wanted to share that bit with you. So you've got a double use, and of course it's also a shaker if you want it to be. Right, I've got my bottle of glue. I'm going to stick glue all around here, and I'm just going to start off doing it so that you can just generally see, for anybody who's a beginner, that you're going to put glue all over those places, and then you're going to stick it down onto your blue mat there. And I'm going to go off and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that's reasonably dry, and the next thing that I want to do is insert my little pattern pieces in, and that happens like that, and then you just glue each of your pieces in. Obviously they're different size, so I'm going to do this big one here in the middle. Once again, for any beginners, so that you can see how it's done, just pop a little bit of glue there, and then slot your piece in to the aperture like that. Give it a press. Mine's going to take a while to dry, and if you hear any funny noises in the background, it's my dehumidifier, so I do apologise for that. So I'm going to finish popping those pieces in, and I will be right back. Right, so that's done, and the next thing to do is the gold pieces. So I'm just going to stick the basket on, and then I'll go off and do the other bits, and I'll be right back once they are dry. So let's get the basket on first before I vanish, and I think I got that on straight, and if I didn't, I'll pick it up and wiggle it around towards me. There, I think that's it. I'll just smooth off the glue there. So now we've got a pretty gold basket. Now I need to glue that one onto there, and my little swag fits in about there. Right, I'm just going to go off and glue those, and I'll be right back. Right, so those are reasonably dry. So let's have a little close up there. You can see that pretty little gold swag. And if anyone wants to know where this paper is from, it's from one of those little booklets that I got a couple of weeks ago from Panalisa. And I've got dried glue all over my fingers. So there's the little gold bar there, and then you've got the gorgeous little gold basket. Now the next thing that we need to concentrate on is this, and this is going to be our card base and our card top. And one of the things that you need to do, obviously, in order to be able to open it, is to score it. And on something like this, I'm going to say, you know, roughly 2/3 is probably safe, and just enough, you know, to write love you and a name in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my scoreboard, and I'm going to score the base. I'll just move my little flowers out of the way. So an easy way to do this is to always use a straight edge. If you've got a straight edge that you can butt up against something, it's a lot easier than, you know, a curved edge. I've got that the wrong way around at the moment because I wasn't sure it was going to fit in, but that's how you want to have it. Now I need stuff facing me, otherwise I'm going to make a terrible mess. I'm just going to straighten my paper up there again. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to make sure that my edge is flat on there, and then I think I'm going to be safe to score it about there. Now I like to go slowly when I'm scoring, because sometimes, you know, I can do it really quick and skip out of the channel. So you can have a look there, you can see where I have scored it. That's a good clear picture. Now into this area here is where I can put all of my glue. So I'm just moving that back out of the way. And I've got my glue bottle. Now you can use tape if you want to, entirely up to you, but I know that my glue squeezes to a certain point, so I never go right up to the edge. So you can see I've got my glue down there, and now I'm going to bring in the other white base, line it up and stick it down. You know, I've got to pick it up towards me because of the camera. Just want to make sure that I've got that straight. Right, I'm going to squeeze it from that side, and then I'm going to flip it over, make sure it's straight again, and then I'm going to squeeze it down to the edge, and I'm going to lift because I want to make sure nothing's stuck there. So I'm going to let that dry with that little tail basically up in the air for a minute, just so that it doesn't get stuck down, and I will be right back. Right, so that is relatively dry, and the next thing you want to do is pop glue on the back of your main panel. So glue on there and then glue it down onto there, and I'll be right back. Right, so that's dry. The next thing is the flowers, and I've decided that I actually want to put my flowers, you know, sort of there and there. So I've got 3 of them, and I've got some dry glue on my end there. So I've got a blob of glue there, I'm having a blob there and a blob there. And I've already sort of like pulled the petals up, and you just do that just by put your finger in the middle and then just tease them, just to give them a little bit of dimension, and then just stick them down onto your glue. Right, I'm going to let that dry and I will be right back. Right, so that's dry, and let's just have a little close-up before we stand it up. And I am going to measure this. So when you think about it, looking at the clock, you know, I know that I've had to wait for my glue and stuff to dry. You may have better glue, or you may be using glue tape. So it really is a quick card. And then if we look on the back where it's scored, that little leg will just open for you, and your card will stand up just like that. And I apologise that, you know, the angle of my camera doesn't really do it justice, but you can see that little leg there from where it was scored. It's just a really quick way to make an easel card. Just always bear in mind the size of your card and the weight. And if you've got a lot of weight up at top, then what you need is a much shorter leg, so that your cards, you know, can't really do the splits on you. And it just sits at an angle on your table like that. I'm turning it around so that you're able to see the design. Right, so I hope those that went all googly-eyed over this balloon are happy with that one. And I'm going to measure it because it is an absolutely awesome size. Right, now I know I've got my embellishment in there, but it is 5 7/8, and then the width at the widest point I'm going to say is there, and I'm going to call that, let's go to the cut lines, 4 3/8. So it really is a gorgeous, gorgeous size. And there you have it. If you want to put pearls or little gemstones on there, you know, you can do that and dot them in between and make it as fancy as you want to. But I thank you so much for joining me today. Do have an absolutely awesome day. And as usual, all links below. Bye.